Greetings, Taekwondo family. Welcome to Miami Minutes, the show that whips its tits out at any opportunity. Oh yeah, baby. I am one of your hosts, John Parker, gladly fondling their tits.
I mean, but those ones get me too'd, before the season's even done, John. Jeez Louise.
Grab your own tits now. Come on, join in.
Yeah. I mean, there's a variation of tits in this minute, so whether they be of the pectoral quality or just a bunch of tits riding around a motorbike, that's entirely your own descriptors.
Yeah, many versions of tits.
But yes, I am here. It's no surprise. Many others die, but not me. Well, not yet. It's me, Niall McGann.
That's sad, though, because, I don't want to upset you, but one day you may die.
Of May? I'm pretty sure it's coming, but
you may. I'm not going to say definitely now because I don't know. You could be that one person to defy history.
I mean, there are people now saying I've seen things in scientific reports. People, scientists have come out and said. And by me going science, it sounds like I'm so vague, but no, I promise. This is from reputable people.
Yeah, science guys.
Science guys. But the people have been starting to say, death could be thought of as a disease, and we are, within the next couple of decades, we could potentially cure that disease. And so they're basically, there has been talk of people going we can probably prolong life indefinitely. But at the same time, then what happens there is, if everyone lives forever and you keep making new people, someone's gotta die to make way for the people coming down the pike, so.
That's when we expand into the universe, right?
Yeah, well, we'll see. If you need to have a good space operation on the go before you cure death, I guess would be my thing, because otherwise the planet's already screwed because there's too many people and everyone's using up all the resources, so
yeah. I totally get that. Conquer space and then conquer death.
Send out a wave of space bikers to intimidate all the normies away.
Biker mice from Mars, one could say.
Go chase the mice away from Mars, and then take over with your domineering beer guts and beards. I have to say, I'm not even introduced the minute yet, but
yes, actually, yeah. Good point. Let's introduce it. This is minute 54. The minute starts with driving to the party, and it ends with more people driving to the party. Today is party time. Excellent.
It's weird that the song and now the imagery, it's borderline comes across like they're taking the piss because there's nothing beyond these guys. They probably all think of themselves as tough guys and stuff. But there's nothing tough going on. They're all, oh yeah, I'm a tough guy. And it's just a bunch of guys out on a nice warm day just having a mild beer with their friends. Just hey, how are you? I'm pretty good. Yeah.
It's a difficult one for me because I agree. But at the same time, it's just dudes partying, right? And you know what? I'm going to say it up front at the beginning of this episode. The commentary track, it is exactly as we suspected in the previous minute, right? These are just legit bikers drunk as fuck.
Oh, it really, really comes across that way. And it also comes across they filmed everything lest a hate crime occur.
That is my only worry, right? Did these bikers, because he straight up asked them in the commentary, was there any conflict? And they never address it. They deflect the question.
What's what Webster's defines conflict as?
My interpretation of what happens is the bikers say you're putting this in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no choice. This is going in the fucking movie. Fucking piece of shit.
I doubt any of these guys are Grandmaster Kim's students. These guys, because many of them, they all come across as rough and tumble guys. And you could be doing Taekwondo and be rough and tumble, but they don't seem like I feel their life philosophies would differ from the teachings of Taekwondo.
1,000%. As I say, this is a biker gang And they started shooting this scene in the morning. And what we're seeing now is basically the afternoon. and that is real beer. It's not fake, it's not watered down. Because apparently they said, like, yeah, well, if we watered it down, they would have known. So.
Well, the thing is, though, I can't speak to the palates of the American biker gang, but I imagine you probably could give them just like real weak piss,
well,
and they'd be like, "Oh, it's beer, I'll take it, whatever." You know,
American listeners, let's not be too harsh on you, but the stereotype of America is you drink absolutely fucking awful beer, right? Like, I know you do have some nice beer, some lovely craft beers, absolutely, but we're talking about the normal, casual beer drinker. Like, are you drinking fucking Bud Light?
Yeah.
Bud Light is the only beer I have ever drank that's worse on draft. It's worse. The can is nicer than the fucking draft.
Yeah, well, but no, they got like, I can imagine this stuff will be like Milwaukee's best.
Oh.
Which is actually a perfectly serviceable beer, but it always comes in little tiny cans. And so
what's that one? There's one I used to have here. There was an American burger shop called Eddie Rockets.
Oh, God, yeah, I remember Eddie Rockets. I think Eddie Rockets is still going. It's just relocated, hasn't it?
No, well, that's the thing. It is still going in Ireland.
Oh, I thought it meant it's still going, like, in Liverpool. Like,
No.
I know it used to be on Bold Street, and then I could have swore it was, like, flung way down deep past, like, the Met Quarter.
Yeah, there was, like, a spiritual successor, but that's gone now. And Eddie Rockets... Eddie Rockets still exists in Ireland. I think in America it's called Johnny Rockets.
Oh, no one's going to take any of your fancy European names like Eddie. Get that out of here.
Because it's an American chain. But I do believe the one here in Liverpool had a beer, Rolling Rock, which I think it's American. I don't think it's Canadian. I think it's American. Correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, because I don't want to lump everyone in together, but to us here, America and Canada are kind of similar. I know they're not, but to us, some of the products are. So let me know. Eddie Rockets had Rolling Rock beer, and I did enjoy it, even though that is a casual beer. It's not a craft or anything. Because when it comes to craft, I did enjoy, what's it called? Sierra Nevada. Mm-hmm. That's a nice beer. That's good.
Oh, yeah. I've Googled Rolling Rock. And from seeing the bottle, I was like, oh, I've had that. Yeah. It looks borderline like a lemonade is the only thing about it. But just seeing scrolling down to seeing the Reddit topic. Any idea where I can find Rolling Rock in the UK?
I have literally just clicked that as you said that sentence.
Yeah, but just seeing then, Rolling Rock is a pretty mediocre mass-produced lager found in the Mid-Atlantic.
But at the same time, you know what? I will willingly accept a mediocre mass-produced lager. I will not accept absolute trash. You know what? Let's just say it. Bud Light. No. No. Do not even offer that here. That's a terrible drink. Give me Rolling Rock, right? At least I can drink that. That's got a flavour.
That's the big one. I was surprised because I was over in back in the homeland, but deep into the south of Ireland the other week, and my current favorite beer is Guinness's Hop House 13.
Oh, that's a nice drink, which is a surprise because I'm not that into Guinness. It's like, it's okay. Hop House, I thought, okay, the name, it's going to be super hoppy. No.
It's only a mere 13% hoppy.
Yeah, it's not that hoppy, but I mean that in a good way. Like, it's a beautiful drink.
The thing is, though, used to be able to get it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, in Liverpool and stuff now. I haven't seen it over here in, like, well over, like, a year. Like, it seems to have been like, no, they're just taking it off the shelves. Go over to Ireland, it's everywhere. It's still, like, it's as if the country's now hoarding it for themselves. It's like, we can't give this away not anymore.
So we are back in minute 54. We're back as the tough guys Ride that highway to hell once more. Death or glory, baby.
So that was, that was how the conversation sort of started out, was that I get the vibe what probably happened is, like, YK Kim was, like, throwing out ideas for scenes, and he's like, oh, we need people to play it. But he's, like, no one in his dojo is a biker. He probably went to, like, Joe Jack Diamond was probably like, oh, I think I can get the sword. And he went to, like, one of his friends, like, do you know, like, a bunch of bikers who could, like, maybe would they want to be in our movie?
Yeah, sure.
And then basically the guy made a call, and then this friggin' fleet of bikers showed up, and then they all of them Caucasian men, and then there's probably a little bit of stress of, like, will they listen to YK Kim, or would they just be like, and then maybe I'm making broad generalizations that, like, I would assume that a southern state biker gang in the mid 1980s probably wouldn't be very PC or very, like, forward thinking, or with all their
agree.
They've got there's a lot of like American Eagles on flags and American flags on T-shirts and all that. They kind of got a vibe about them. Quite frankly, I was shocked that Yoshido, he seems so out of place when you see the guy playing Yoshido. It's just like mixed in among them. Again, though, I might be 100% wrong. But they might have been all lovely people, for all I know.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, I agree with you. My initial instinct, right or wrong, was to be a little bit concerned.
Yes.
I was checking every person on screen for anything that might be a bit Nazi. I was like, let's look at those tattoos. Let's zoom in. I was checking everything. I was actually quite intrigued that Yashito, the character of Yashito, you see him, like, chilling with the guys.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I did like, because I assumed wrongly they filmed this gang separately. But the actor himself is in there mixing it up, having a chat, and these let's say characters like his character, which was quite refreshing because, again, it might be wrong, but I assumed there's something off with these guys.
Yeah. I mean, I'm quite examining the tattoos for some sort of any kind of iron crosses.
Yeah, or lightning bolts. That's another one.
Yeah, it was a good call, but it's just weird because I understand it's just like they're shooting. Like, this is probably all B-roll footage, and it's just the actor of Yoshido just is hanging about and chilling with these guys.
But in a way, that's weirder, right? That the actor felt comfortable enough to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go party with these dudes.
Yeah. But it's weird though. Yoshito is like, this is easily the most at ease we've ever seen him.
Yeah,
like it's weird. Like, if Jeff knew he was out hanging out with another biker gang, and he's always so prim and proper around Jeff and stuff, that he'd be like, oh, he's just not part of my world, And then if he came across this, he'd be like, what? But, like, Yoshida doesn't hang out with my biker gang like these guys. It's like, it's because I don't really like you, Jeff.
Oh, poor Jeff. But you are right. Like, again, we've talked about it multiple times. This is a real biker gang. And one of these dudes, let's just say it right up front. There's one of these dudes immediately, second, like, fucking two, topless. Take a drink.
All right.
No, but you are right. Like, Jeff would probably be like, what are you doing? Well, Jeff is in charge of a gang.
Here's a working theory of, like, how this probably, let's just surmise that these guys probably aren't all, like, I'm willing to believe that, like, 85% of these men have been in prison. Like,
I love your assumption.
Yeah, again, I'm beginning to feel bad because I'm just making broad generalizations. But, like, work with me here.
No, I am with you. Like, that, it sounds awful, but I kind of thought the same thing.
No, totally. But it could be then that, like, because YK Kim doesn't have to be there to film this. And it is, like, the guy who plays Yoshito is a biker. Like, we've seen him on a motorbike. Like, we know that he can ride. So maybe that's how they're like, oh, no, they'll chill with them. And they're okay with him because he at least has something in common with them. Where they can come over. He probably could talk about, like, Japanese bikes or something, for instance. And because there's many Harley Davidson logos plastered throughout too.
Oh yeah.
So they're probably giving him a lot of crap about like, that Japanese piece of crap, and you want to get yourself buy American and all this kind of stuff. But it could have been lighthearted ribbing that he was. And plus, at the end of the day, he does know how to create fire by splitting bricks in two. So he might have been there with like, I'm ready to go if something happens, and it's gonna be.
Yep.
They got there the skeleton crew of me, Joe Jack, and the boom. Not even the boom mic because there's no dialogue. They probably didn't even got a sound guy down there. No. So it's just like whoever, maybe would they have even risked 2 cameras? It's like just bring down 1. And then if anything happens, it's like, all right, just get on the bikes and freaking ride, man. Just get out of there as fast as you can.
It's fantastic. Like, you could not cast this better. Like, because they're real. Yeah. And it comes across, right? Like, they are not glamorous in the slightest. And I do not mean that as a diss. No. They do come across, though, as a... Their uniform is Brett Gelman. The guy... That guy was in like Fleabag and in Stranger Things, like he's the scientist. That, yeah.
But I was going through all of them, and the whole thing about like they're tough guys, and the kind of thing about biker communities is that like they're like we're in the outside, we're outlaws, man. Yeah. Like we're living free and we're completely different from your mainstream, and yet every single one of them is a white, pudgy, bearded man with brown hair.
That's like, what worried me.
Yeah, every one of them is like there's not even a variation. There's not even like a ginger guy in there. Nope. There's not like a variation of hair color. The closest you get is that occasionally there's little bits of gray in the beards. But there's times you look at them, it's like they've got like the same t-shirts and everything on. Like it's just it's all it's got the gut, the leather vest, the bandana and the hair, the beard, and the friggin' the black t-shirt with an American flag and an eagle somewhere on it.
One thing though that I thought took their edge away, right? Made them less cool, is that they are drinking out of plastic cups. Not cool, right? I don't know if that's an American thing. If you drink out of a plastic cup here, it's either you're lame or you're at a gig and you're forced to fucking drink out of a plastic cup.
It might be that I guarantee you they didn't recycle those cups though, John. I know they were just littered around the road. For waiting for convicts to come along and pick up.
That's the thing, right? It ties into my worry. They didn't talk about it in the commentary track, but did they give them plastic cups? Like, we can't give them glass.
Probably.
They're gonna smash.
It might have been even like
a fucking fight.
On the off, let's say YKKM did take the effort to go and like, well, we better go get a permit because you have to, you've seen Ed Wood, you know that you're not allowed to just film on the streets. You have to go and get a permit.
You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. A lot of this would be like, YKKM. I would imagine there's certain scenes here that aren't like some of that stuff at the beach.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it was all done on the sly.
Like he says he got permission, but it's like for all of the scenes.
I mean, with this kind of thing, though, if you've invited a biker gang down to, like, the middle of Orlando, it could be that it's like, well, people are going to notice that. This isn't like a couple of guys filming a quick scene walking around a beach. This is like, no, this is going to take up, like, a field and stuff like that. So it could have been that he had to go hat in hand to the local, I don't know, here we call it the local council. I don't know what they'll call it.
What would you call it in America? Let us know. Like, we call it the council. They run the sort of local government. Would you call it the... I don't know. What's the American equivalent?
I did enjoy, like, last week's episode was us going, like, getting into really woke topics and stuff like that. And this week it's like, all bikers are scum, and I'm going to broadly paint them with the same brush. I have no doubt that these men are like, just look at them. By the look of them, I can tell that they're bad.
Absolutely fucking brilliant. Like, I love it. And I instantly got the vibe, even before I listened to the commentary, like, oh, they just gave these real bikers that we knew about before, they just gave them unlimited beer.
Yeah, right? There's probably multiple kegs around there. Maybe that might have had to been the deal. Like, they went to the council and they're like, so we have to film this scene here. And it could have been maybe a guy on the council was one of YK Kim's students. And he's like, oh, no, give them permission to do that.
Maybe.
Not realizing, like, oh, so you're going to get a fleet of bikers from God knows where. are they Hell's Angels? Are they worse? Are they,
I don't know.
And then that's weird though, they never mentioned because the gangs tend to have like a pride in their name. Like if you're with a group, you're with that group kind of thing. So I'm surprised that in the commentary they didn't mention like, oh yeah, this is like, Satan's piss stain or something like that. Like,
I think they were worried. Like, don't quote me on that because obviously I'm just listening to audio, but I think they didn't want to upset them. And you know what? I think they gave them unlimited beer out of fear. Like, and you know what? They do say in the commentary that they plied them with booze.
Yeah.
Like, we gave them alcohol. I think it's out of fear. It's like, be in our movie. We'll give you beer, and they're like, come on, where's the fucking beer? Where's the fucking beer? Give it to me now. It's like, okay.
And then again, a council agreement. I was like, you can go down there, give them beer. But guys, can you do it with plastic cups, please? We don't want any. It was like, can you just tell them that you will provide the alcohol? They don't have to bring like their own stuff, like because they will just bring balls of whiskey and proper and freaking 24 packs of aluminium cans or aluminum.
Aluminum for you Americans.
And was it like that's always weird, Max. No one ever talks about the movie anymore. But I remember in the early 2000s, there was a film with Malcolm McDowell and Paul Bettany. Terrible English gangster film. Oh. It was called Rancid Aluminium.
Oh my God. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, and I've always wondered when I was released in America, was it just called Rancid Aluminum? Like, did they have to do the thing of like, because you'd never think over here, but it's like, no, it's Rancid Aluminium, yeah. But then even in the movie, if they said the title, it'd be like, it's going to be aluminium. But like in America, did they have to? I wonder if they just had to change the title.
I would think they did. Like, this is the thing, right? To American listeners and to English/British, I hate saying British because I'm English, listeners, how do we word this? Like, both parties get this wrong. Both pronunciations are correct. Americans legitimately spell it differently, and there's a scientific reason. And we over here spell it differently for a scientific reason. Neither is wrong. So you can't say, well, that's incorrect. You said aluminum. No, Americans are right. There's a reason. Look it up, right?
Yeah.
But I am with
you. We don't have the reason to hand, but
I don't have it to hand. No. But
I should say, of course, I was mistaken there in saying it as Malcolm McDowell, and because I looked it up there quickly to see if there was any change in the American title. There wasn't, but I was thinking of the film Gangster No. 1, which has the quite frankly ingenious casting of Malcolm McDowell and then Paul Bettany as young Malcolm McDowell, which is just like, yep, that's the best idea you have. Rest of the film is absolute trash. Rancid Aluminium is also trash, but it has Joseph Fiennes and Rhys Ifans in it, and neither film is worth watching.
Oh, Rhys Ifans is in it, though. I like Rhys Ifans. He's good.
Anywho,
yes. So, I talked about how they weren't glamorous and things like that.
I have to wonder, though, maybe we've brought this up, because we did have such biker-heavy stuff at the beginning, which is now, like, 50-odd weeks ago for us, to be fair. So it's been some time, but like, I always wonder, on a motorbike, are they putting in headphones to listen to music?
Oh.
Can you listen to a podcast if you're on? Because I was almost had a little pang of fear myself, like, well, if there's bikers listening to this.
In this day and age, yes, you can. In the era this is set, absolutely not.
Yeah. Because that's always the ironic thing with the Easy Rider is, of course, that's most of that movie. I love Easy Rider as a film, but most of it is like just endless footage of Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper riding motorbikes without. Well, actually, no, one of them does have a helmet. But they're just out and about, and then there's a great section in the middle where Jack Nicholson's in it, and then he's no longer in it, and the film doesn't really recover from not having Jack Nicholson in it. But yeah, back then, I guess it's ironic because it's mostly footage of like, just them driving through the wide expanse of America, and then accompanied by like a contemporary soundtrack. So it's just a lot of like the Byrds and Steppenwolf, obviously, of course, and all big, Jimi Hendrix and all thrown on the soundtrack, and you kind of give you the vibes like this is what these guys listen to, but you're like, when? Because all they do is ride around these bikes. You can't listen to music on a bike, and then whenever you see them not on the bikes, they're just sitting in silence at little campfire sites.
It's
and
when
stuff.
they're back at home, chilling out on like a Tuesday night.
Yeah, so I'm guessing they're having to just drive around in their heads going, get your motor running.
Yeah, it's all karaoke based.
That's it. Maybe the modern biker gangs might be like, no, they're getting an NPR and in the helmets. And
in this day and age, absolutely right. I work with someone. He sits right next to me, and I want to do the same thing. In one ear, he always has like a wireless earbud, like what the fuck do you call them these days? Like a I
would just call it a wireless earbud.
No, but Apple have a name for it, don't they? What the fuck's the? I don't know. Apple bullshit. He's got one of those Apple bullshits in his ear. So I've been watching him at the corner of my eye, thinking, I'm in the Google verse, let's say. So I want the Google version. Just because it's like, well, I could put it in the other ear. And then if he needs me, he can talk to me. But otherwise, I've got a podcast on.
Yeah, totally.
Fucking brilliant, right? Because he had that in his ear for literally the day about 5 hours. Fantastic.
The thing is, like, because I work from home, and most of the time the house is empty. It's you put on whatever you want. But like, I always feel, I go out to make food and there's somebody in the kitchen, feel a little self-conscious putting on, some stuff that I want to listen to, because you always get people then getting, well, what's this? Why do you like this? And all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you enter into a whole thing.
But then whenever I go to like make, food, I would love to be listening to all this stuff. That's why I love when I have the house to myself. Like, oh baby, here we go. I should really make the transition to just going out with headphones on.
Do it.
But then now I wonder if I'm too far gone for that. It'll be like making a very antisocial statement for me to just show up. I was like, that's right, assholes. I had it, but I haven't talked to you. Because I did try it once, like, a couple of houses ago. And it was just a disaster. Because the guy just kept wanting to talk to me I only tried it once, and he just kept trying to talk to me. And it was just like every 2 seconds taking out the headphones going, oh, yeah, putting them back in. And then he'd ask me something else. It's like, God, you're not getting it. No. You should not understand this. And to be fair, the people I'm with now, much more sociable with them and stuff like that. But like, I do feel then I missed my opportunity. I should have established it from the word go that when I'm in the kitchen, I'll have the headphones on. And it's nothing personal. It's just that's what I want to be doing.
You want them to understand it's not rude. I get it. Now, also, you know what? We talked about the taking the edge away. But once we see that with the plastic cups, we see a second shirtless dude. He's different to the other one, so take a drink. And then, after that, one of my favorite things, we see the I'm just going to call him the bandana dude. He is slick.
Which second is this on?
This is... Oh, let me get the exact second. Holy shit.
And I am troubled on second 6, because there's a guy, he's got an American t-shirt on, and his cap... it seems to have some kind of lightning bolt going on there.
Yeah, I was concerned. I was concerned as well, but I gave it a pass. I don't know if that's right. But the guy I'm talking about is second, like 11.
Okay, let's see it.
He's got a bandana on. He's got it like, not like over his head, like a sort of do-rag, but, like just like a sort of strap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This guy, he looks more like a kind of, like an old school hippie, this dude, though.
Yeah, he's got like a hippie thing. Now, I have never, ever been able to pull off a bandana, even when I had hair.
No.
I especially can't do it now I have no hair.
I feel also, though, it's kind of like the bandana has to come with the rest of the outfit. Like
you need the look, right?
Like, I couldn't go out in, like a tweed jacket and, like loafers and then stick a bandana on top. People were like, what? No, that doesn't mix at all. Particularly with a bald head. That'd be really, really weird. But I think if you have the whole ensemble, and a lot of it I do think is attitude. I think if you have the attitude of a person who wears a bandana, therefore, and you don't care, you're not doing it consciously. You're just like, I'm just wearing this because it's the thing I want to wear. Like, rather than thinking about it too much. I think you can, I think a lot of that goes towards it kind of thing. But
I agree. But listeners, I mean, I'm peek behind the curtain. As of recording, I am approaching 38 years old. And even when I was like 17 and I was a metalhead, couldn't do it.
No.
Didn't look right on me. Did not look right. I think maybe it's the hair length as well, because the longest my hair ever got was when I wanted to look like Jack White. It never got long, you know?
No. That's well, Jack White's hair was always quite mesmerizing. Like he was, he had something special going on.
It was a great middle ground between short and long.
Yeah, but I was always wondering where we put it, because you see in the video for Dead Leaves in the Dirty Ground, he kind of runs his hands through his hair and it properly sticks up.
Yeah.
It's obviously got some amount of product in it, when it just looks like, oh, he's just sort of bunged his hair down like a middle part. But no, there's been more. Jack White was a guy who used to like to go out and say like, oh yeah, I bought these trousers for like $3 at the thrift store and all that stuff. I think there was a lot more going on there to Jack White than he was letting on.
Especially now.
Oh, nowadays too, he has like these magnificent blue quiffs and stuff. They're fantastic to look at, but they're much more consciously styled than his. It used to be back in the days, like, I'm a garage band guy.
Now there's money and effort.
Yeah. I was like, oh, Bob, these are my dad's socks that I've inherited from it. But that was always the vibe of like, no, we come from nothing. The white stripes are made of dirt. And now it is just like, no, he's very, very well to do.
Which is fine.
I mean, there's no denying. Like, you can't get around the fact like, oh, he's obviously a multimillionaire.
He's very successful. And you know what? If anyone's going to be successful, at least he has talent.
But this guy, though, the headband guy, though, because I think he's kind of, I can't see what he's holding there. He's been presented with like a little small box by this lady.
Looks like she's proposed.
Yeah, but I don't know what the hell that box is, because it looks like it's in. It doesn't just look like a normal box. It looks like it's kind of like probably a part of a bike or something.
It's full of cocaine.
Well, almost definitely, yeah. It's 2 p.m. That's it. We're cracking.
Yep.
But it could be like, I think the way he's touching it quite gingerly too. He does have more of this is like a Grateful Dead biker guy. Like, he is much more in the Easy Rider vein. I'm like, no, he's an old hippie, just likes riding around his bike. And again, maybe I've tarred all these guys wrong. And they're all old hippies who just like, they just, like listening to, the Birds. And we're just like, we're that kind of like freewheeling 60s lifestyle. And we all just live in, in huts.
That would be nice, but there's a bad vibe.
I know, I'm saying that. There's probably, I do get, it was probably the most troubling aspect of filming the movie was, Jack says he's got some guys who have bikes, and then these guys show up and say, oh Christ, what the hell did you do?
Great!
Can we get somebody else? Nope. We told them they're getting paid by the hour. Yeah, so they're going to sit here all day, and you're going to pay them for every hour. That's what's going to happen. They're going to make sure that you pay them for every hour.
Did you notice as well, one guy has a koozie.
A koozie?
Do you not remember those koozies? It was like a thing you put around a beer can that kept it cold.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I thought that would have been more of like a mid-2000s invention.
No. I had koozies early 90s.
Oh, okay. See, whereabouts is it where you, again, we have to go second by second with this.
Yeah, let me find the exact second. Holy shit. So, you said what's he got in his hands? He is literally, I've just triple checked, he is applying a koozie to his beer.
Ah.
And I used to have those, even though I was like 6 and I didn't drink beer. My dad would always give me his koozies to put on like my Pepsi. And do they even work? Listeners, do they work? I don't understand how or why. It's like a piece of like fucking rubber. I don't even know what it's made of.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of it is. It has a kind of pseudo-science Ponzi scheme about it. It was like, if you cool this down and then wrap it around your beer, it'll keep your beer cool. It's like, maybe? Will it for like for the rest of the afternoon? Sure. Yeah. Why not? Yeah, of course it does.
Why not? It might work. It might not work. But back in the day, see, one of the things I vividly remember from being a kid as well, koozies, and also, you might remember this, I don't know, but in the windscreen of your car, you would put like a reflective foil screen. Did they do that in Ireland? Was there a lot of
sun? No, I remember that. Yeah. That was the. It didn't occur to me that I haven't seen it in actually ages right now.
Nobody does it. But I used to live in Cyprus, a very hot place. So koozies and that weird foil fucking bullshit you put in your windscreen.
I'm also going to make a punt on, although it looks like quite a small can, so it could be that it's an old school Pepsi can.
Yeah, but Americans have little beers.
Yeah, because I was going to say it's got the color scheme of a Budweiser. But then, again, you never know. Maybe this guy is the old school hippie type. Maybe he's not into the drinking. Maybe he's the designated... Well, they're all... I guess there's no designated drivers in a biker scenario. But, like, maybe he is just... He's part of the new generation.
Which is Pepsi again.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I mean. that was a deliberate joke. But yeah, he's going for... He might be just... maybe, and that's why he's having to put the koozie on.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want people to know that he's not drinking.
He's pretending it's a beer.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, guys, this is a new type of... Can I try it? No, man, get your own... Big fight breaks out over it.
I'm totally fucked.
But yeah, it could be. I mean, he's like a sensitive... This is a guy who's like undercover. He's like a documentary filmmaker or something, like who's burrowed his way into this biker community, and this koozie is the only thing that's stand between him and getting his job snapped off his head because of all the various crimes that he's witnessed.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's why he's not drinking anymore. He's like, I can't put up with this. It's too much. It's too much. I need to go sober.
Yeah, he says he's doing an old-fashioned Bruce Wayne technique of just like, oh, yeah, it's ginger ale, but they think it's champagne,
Clever bastard.
Maybe it is Bruce Wayne. This is him track this biker gang all the way from Gotham.
No, that's when we go into the Yoshito bit that we talked about briefly. And,
yes.
I especially like that he is in character, right? He's not just... as an actor, just chatting to people. No. Yoshito, the character, is flirting with women. Unless he's not in character and he's just a dirty fucking dog.
I don't know. Weirdly, I thought this was entirely just the actor chatting with these guys. Because
trying
he's
to get his
drinking
end
too.
away.
You say that, but you never know. Again... We don't know anything about this guy because there's no information on him. Yeah. So it could be that this woman could be his biker bride. That's how they got these guys down, because he's like, oh no, I've got connections in the biker community. Don't believe you me.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, but all these are all his actual friends that Yoshito's brought down. But no, I really got more of the vibe. Like, again, it's all B-roll footage. So if you want to have him in character, you could have had a whole big sort of tense meet off with them and stuff like that, but I get the vibe. They're like, don't try to film any actual scenes.
But I mean, I'm not going to shame him. But if this is just real, I mean, he is trying to get his end away.
Well, he's also drinking, so there could be that he's just like, okay, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep up with them. All right, so
I'm going to drink. I'm going to bang their chicks.
He talked to that documentary guy. He's just like, how do you get away with this? He's like, you have to get there, just keep whatever they're drinking, you drink too, and then just try to bang as many of the chicks as you can. And then he's just like, he forgot to tell them about the Pepsi koozie thing. He's like, oh no, he's on the actual booth. You're not going to make it to 2 p.m., man.
Oh no.
Well, then maybe at 2 p.m. that's when the cocaine comes out. So he's like, oh no, maybe I'll perk him back up a bit.
Keeps you going. That's my flaw. I don't take drugs, so once 2 p.m. hits and I'm that many drinks deep, it's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Everyone else keeps going. I'm like, nope.
I do love in that shot, though, in that they all seem like they're having a genuinely good time. Because, again, I think they are just all milling around.
Yeah.
But there is the one guy who just couldn't, the one tough guy who couldn't keep it straight. 23 seconds in, there's a guy just staring directly at the camera for a bit.
Yeah.
As if he's just like, oh, we're making a movie. Oh, wow. Yeah. I saw that movie the other day with the Statue of Liberty in the sand at the end. And the guy goes, damn you all. It's like, Planet of the Apes, that was the last movie you saw.
Probably fucking was, yeah. He is staring like no one else is. It's just him.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's 100% a, like, are you guys filming this? Like, this. The milling around, like, oh, it could be seconds away from him throwing down his plastic cup and be like, I didn't get permission for that, asshole.
No, I think he wants them to film it because he's got these women around him. It's like it makes him look cool.
Yeah.
Are you filming this? I've got these chicks. And speaking of which, we've briefly mentioned it. We've got to address it. Tits.
Oh yeah,
it's what you've all been waiting for. The climax of the movie. The tits are here.
I was just like, even with like. Because you see the hop around, you see various tits as things go on.
Oh yeah, good.
And
three pairs?
Yoshito is right next to a pair of tits at one point as well. And I really started a question, but in his character, like Yoshito taking a bride bay, like even if it's again with this kind of criminal undercurrents, it could be like, is this a business transaction?
Maybe.
Is it that he's just, he'll never go, he's just like, well, my people, I know I'm hardcore, martial arts guy, but I like to kick loose with the biker guys as well. This is where I feel most at home and stuff. Because there's a whole backstory to Yoshito. We're like, why biker ninjas? What is his biker heritage? Where's this coming from? Like,
It's fascinating, isn't it? Because there's no explanation.
No.
And you know what? Seeing this, it's the 80s being the 80s yet again. Random, topless women.
Oh, totally.
At least this kind of fits the movie, though. The setting the scene for how these guys and gals operate. A lot of 80s movies are just like, tits.
Yeah.
Here's some tits. Even as much as I love it, fucking Trading Places, it just goes, tits.
Yeah.
Why is there tits in Trading Places?
Yeah, so it was who was it that had the famous quote of just like, give them a car chase, give them a hard on, and they go home happy. I think it was Roger Corman's too wholesome. Roger Corman's surprisingly wholesome man. Although made a killing in a lot of biker movies back in the day, to be fair. But
it almost sounds like a line you'd get from what's him who did all the titty movies, like Super Vixens.
Oh, not Ken Russell. Let's see, we're gonna have to Google it.
Oh shit.
Russ Meyer, yeah.
Russ Meyer, yes. It's almost like a Russ Meyer thing. Like, well, tits. Because, believe it or not, the original idea for the Sex Pistols movie was Malcolm McLaren wanted Russ Meyer to direct it. And John Lydon was like, absolutely fucking no. No. And, I like Russ Meyer in a way, but imagine him directing that. No. It was bad enough as it fucking turned out. Let's just address it. These women do not wear bras.
No.
And can you let us
know? They got the waists are high and the bras are non-existent. Like those jeans are up to their ribcage. It was just an age of high-waisted jeans, I guess.
And I'm into that. I like a high-waisted jean.
But you can see, this is how culture flipped. Because, this is 87. By 2003, it was the dominance of the low-rise jean.
Oh, but too low.
Yeah. And as the fashion industry is like, what can we do if we did high-waist? Well, there was, virtually no waist.
A millimeter above your pubis.
Yeah. What if it just stopped at the hips? Doesn't even get to the hips. It's the bottom of the butt. That's too far, quite frankly.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And they're coming back as well, as far as I understand.
They are. They're back. But any listeners with boobs, can you let me know if this is comfortable or not? Because obviously bras, they have an underwire, which can be a little bit uncomfortable. In drag, I often wear one, and it is a bit like, okay. But what's preferable, right? No bra at all, so you're flopping everywhere. Or, a semi-comfortable bra. What would you prefer? Because this, to me, as a non-boob owner, seems like it would not be nice. It seems like they would be all over the fucking shop.
You feel like, you're not going to have any, you just got sort of loose stuff hanging on your chest that's going to be going from, but then maybe that might come across as offensive to phrase it that way.
Well, that's why I'm asking, though, because, as someone born a man, Like, for instance, if I work out and I'm not wearing the right clothes, sometimes that can be not pleasant, shall we say. Things move.
I do know, I have known women in the past to say the sports bra is like is what you want, basically.
They look the most efficient, yeah.
Yeah, because they're serving a purpose, but they're not like super tight, or they don't have a wire and that thing. And they're just like, oh, this is elastic.
It's like the best of everything.
Yeah, yeah. But then I guess you're just going to have individual, like, I was thinking the other day, because like it was a line I just never really fully appreciated what he was saying. But like, I would never go commando.
No. Like,
that just seems like a nightmare.
If you do that, that's fine. But to me, that's like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, but then there's that Simpsons where I think, like, I can't remember what was the exact circumstances, but like the kids are missing, and Marge is like, "Oh, well, at least I've got clean underwear," and then it cuts to Bart's underwear folded in his beds. And then he's walking along. I think it's when they're going to Shelbyville. It's the Lemon and Troy episode. Yeah. And he says something to Lisa like, "Oh, nothing beats the comfort of an unfurnished basement," or something like that. And I'm like, he's obviously like people are quite happy to go commando. I would never, ever consider doing that.
Let's just be explicit. Let's just do it. I do not want my ass crack rubbing into my trousers.
No. And also, just like the dangling things are going on there too. Yeah. Particularly too, if you're wearing, like, I'm not a big person for wearing shorts, but if you're wearing shorts, like,
that's even worse.
Yeah, you're already in the risk of being exposed right there. What are you doing? At least these women they've got the attitude of they're coming out here with like this is titillating fun.
Yeah, this is expected. Maybe they do this every get-together. Like, the women, they come along and they get their tits out.
One of them's got I can see has got one of the plastic cups in a koozie, right enough.
Yep.
I was going to say Coos has a koozie, but
let's make Miami Minutes fucking koozies.
But they're probably 5 years deep themselves.
Yeah.
I think you actually see there over in the corner Yoshito as actually he's right there as well. Maybe there could be though. This is auditions for his ninja clan, and you don't know what they can do with these tits. Like they come over, they can break a block of ice with them. Yep. Maybe they shoot fire. You never know. This is one of the things. He's like, oh, I don't understand. You've got some phenomenal warriors amongst your clan here.
That's the thing. They're tricking you. You think, oh, tits, but they're actually weapons.
Yeah. And that's why that guy, when he goes and squeezes one, he's trying to like squeeze some of the flames out. But they're like, no, I have such control over it that it's only the flames only shoot out when I want them to shoot out. It's not like you can't use me like a gun. It has to be me doing it. It's a conscious effort.
Well, also, in the context of filming the movie, I get the impression that these women were not told to do this. They just did it. No. And they were like, you're putting this in the fucking movie. Okay.
I can imagine too, probably the footage came back to YK Kim and whoever he had in the editing bay, and they were probably like, the movie could use some tits, Grandmaster Kim.
It is the 80s.
This is one of the things is we're sorely lacking is we can't just have a random sex scene with Jane and she's our only female character. So we now have footage of tits. I would highly advise as your editor to put these in the movie.
100%. Yeah, I see that. Like, well, that's what all the movies are doing,
Yeah, you go are you even vaguely aroused by these? Like, no, but someone out there will be. So that's what you gotta go for with this.
Maybe we're spoiled because this is an era where you got your porn from the bushes.
That's true. And back in the day too, like, had Miami Connection actually been released on VHS instead of just been playing for a week in the cinema and then just gathering dust, I can imagine there would have been there was a Color of Night, the Bruce Willis movie.
Yes.
But there's a sex scene in that, and people used to always thought oh yeah, exactly. It's 36 minutes in, and
that's where your tape was worn down.
Yeah, people get now rental copies, and I was like, yeah, the quality really degrades for a couple of minutes during the sequence.
I wonder why.
Yeah, so it would have been the talk of the schoolyard, and a pre-Mr. Skin world. There would have been all the chatter of oh no, you see some tits in Miami Connection. Plus, particularly kids are I think you got friggin' 88 this comes out in video.
Yep.
There's gonna be some 10-year-olds. Their big brother rented it, or their dad got it out or something.
That's how we all discovered shit like that, right?
Yeah. And then you find out from your neighbor, like, oh no, it's got tits in it. Yeah. I also have to say too, I'm paused on 38 seconds, and there's so many things I love going on here. In that, it's a lady who's just got the shirt up above her head, and the guy is mid grasp.
Oh, he is really grabbing.
That guy behind it, the guy doing the grabbing, like, I know he's got a bandana and a huge beard and the sunglasses, but he looks so much like Tom Noonan. Speaking of Last Action Hero, actually, the guy who played the friggin' Ripper in Last Action Hero, legendary character actor Tom Noonan, because you see him nowadays, like, he always has a big, he looks exactly like that nowadays.
Maybe it is him. Oh my god.
It could be his dad, although Tom Noonan's been like 60. It's like, actually, no, Manhunter, he was probably like 45, but he's always been, although, again, saying that, Tom Noonan in Manhunter looks 45. He was probably like 28 at the time.
That's the thing, right? Back then, a bit like this movie, like this woman and this guy, probably like 30.
Yeah. Although I appreciate that I mentioned earlier, Brett Gelman, of course, from Stranger Things, who's got like the classic, like many of these men, has the big bald spot at the back of the head, huge big bushy beard. He has more of a kind of like New York intelligentsia kind of vibe about him, but like he looks like, if you slapped on the leathers, he would be a biker. But he also has that thing of like, when Stranger Things started, I looked into him, and I was surprised to see like he was like 38 in it. I was like, he looks like he's near 50. But I appreciate now that he's embraced what an adult used to look like to us when we were children. Where he's like, no, I know I've got a horrifically receded hairline, and I'm just now growing like a skullet at the back, where it's just like his whole skull, all party hair in the back. Well, I should just shave it all off, but no, I'm keeping the skullet going and this big bushy beard. And I'm not much to look at beyond that. But that back when we were kids, that's what a man looked like.
Absolutely.
Unless you're a friggin' Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that's just unrealistic. So you just look like this guy. And Brett Gelman, I salute him for attempting to bring it back, quite frankly.
It's weird to me, right? Because I'm sure every generation has this same thought, but like, in a few months I'm 38, so I'm approaching 40. I remember when my dad turned 40.
Yeah, whoa.
And he was, like, to me, he was an old man. And it's like, well, I'm not even an adult yet.
Yeah. No, totally. And I've found people, maybe it just depends where you are in your life and your own personal perception of your life and stuff. But so I know some people who are, like, around our age, and who are quite happy to be like, yeah, mouth of 40. I'm just like, get out of here. No, I'm 36, and I only just turned it the other month. So I'm still mid 30s. And yet, I know someone who's like the same exact age as me, and she's just like, yep, here we are. I'm just facing down 40 now. It's like, no, we're not. We got 3 years time. I still won't be 30. I still won't be 40.
Cling on.
But at the same time, though, she was saying like when she was 28, she used to tell people she was 30. So maybe she just had a thing of like, just freaking get it over.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I genuinely enjoyed being 30. I thought that was
flirty.
That was
30. That's always
no. I thought it was like a nice middle ground, between the different worlds. Whereas now approaching 40, it's like, no, that's middle age, which means I'm basically dead.
Oh. Well, that's the thing. Now you move the goalpost for what middle age is, because it used to be like, oh, middle age is 40 because you're halfway to 80, and if you make 80. But in my mind now, I'm like, no, I could live to be like 95. Come on,
if you're fucking lucky.
To be fair though, the McGowan's family has good genes. My granddad lived to be 102.
Wow.
So. And like, a lot of my grandmother was like 93 or something. So there's the whole, fingers crossed there's good genes. Like I say that, and then friggin' my dad's 80, and he's doing great currently. Fingers crossed, God forbid anything happens. But
don't say that on air. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But here's actually two things I want to point out though. In the screenshot of second 38 is of course Tom Noonan grabbing this lady's tits, or just a singular tit. To be fair,
tits. One.
When I look in the background, what I really love is the woman behind her, who's also, her tits are out of view, but she's clearly also got her shirt up, and she's got the smirk and the lit cigarette just hanging in her mouth, like, hey, here we go, baby. And so I appreciate that energy. Also noted going over there, Yoshito taking in the whole view. And if you look in his plastic cup, there's some ice cubes there.
Oh,
which suggests to me that like you don't put ice cubes in beer.
What's he drinking?
So maybe someone sneaked in some good stuff. I think. I think
some like
maybe,
spirits.
I think somebody got that, and I think actually that guy. I think was it Tom Noonan maybe. That looks like he's holding thing. That's not beer in there. That's a dark colored liquid.
Oh.
Rum and Coke, maybe.
He's brought the rum, or he's brought the bourbon, or something.
So you can't tell these guys not to bring booze. Like they're like, no, we'll provide it for you. Someone there has got like, no, I'm getting out the snake bite or whatever kind of random crap they've got. You know?
I assume all bikers in America drink bourbon. But is that true? Americans, let me know.
I don't know, because even bourbon sounds too dignified. Yeah. Almost like you have to what would Al Swearingen call it back in Deadwood? Like, firewater would be what the Native Americans would call it. But
well, there is a cheaper version. I believe they used to make a corn whiskey.
Oh, there you go. Something along those lines. You know, it could be freaking like potsheen.
Yeah, well, I think corn whiskey is very. I think, again, don't quote me on this, listeners. I don't know. We don't have it here, but I think corn whiskey is more like that.
Yeah,
it's like it's very pale, and it's like you just made in like a fucking tub.
or again, you never know. It could be that Yoshito is like, how do I win these guys over? Because if they see a non-white guy coming towards them, there might be some crap. Japanese whiskey.
Japanese whiskey is very nice.
And he could just be like, you got, and maybe that's his little crafty thing of like, yeah, they're providing here. What got friggin' kegs full of Bud Light? What the hell? No one's gonna want to drink this. But then everyone's choking it down. What the hell is this? And then he's just like, guys, and particularly, go over to like the leaders, and he's like, just present, probably in a very, little fancy little like, oh, here we go, I've got some good stuff for you, hidden underneath his ascot, and that's how he's made the piece. But
yeah,
and then there might have been a thing where like they insisted on mixing it with the Coke, and he's having to just bite his lip kind of thing, because if you got a good whiskey, I understand. There's just some people, the same kind of people who just instantly add ketchup to something when they come across it. It's like, you got a good whiskey, you don't. No.
No, I agree totally. Right, like how do I word it? Like I have no problem with mixing your bourbon or whatnot with the Coke. That's absolutely fine. I enjoy that. That's a nice drink. But you don't mix a nice fucking one. Someone I knew, I would buy like Woodford Reserve, my favorite bourbon.
Oh, I remember you got me a bottle of that last year.
Oh, I did.
My birthday.
It's my favorite drink in the world. My favorite drink on the planet. Woodford Reserve. And they would be like, oh, yeah, can I have one? But yeah, okay, sure. Can you put Coke in it? Like, if you want that, that's fine. But why are you asking for my Woodford with Coke? Just get some fucking Jim Beam.
Yeah.
Just get something cheap.
Your steward's cream of the barley crap off the bottom shelf.
Exactly, right? Because if mixing it, fine, great. It's nice, it's tasty. But don't waste a nice fucking drink on it.
No. It's the absolute. But again, but that's what I can imagine. Yoshido's is like, okay, just they're. Putting,
you don't argue with these guys.
They're putting their tepid Dr. Pepper in with this. Okay, well. I also noted again too. Second 42, another guy with ice cubes in his drink there.
Oh,
so
there's a few.
These guys are getting passed around. He also has that thing that I believe we talked about during our tenure in Die Hard Minute.
Jesus Christ, what's that, like 5 years ago?
That's the thing I always remember. It stuck out to me because it used to be a thing I used to do too because I thought it looked cool and I just didn't realize why people did it. But like he's got this watch on, but the face is facing inside where the palm is.
Oh, yes.
And I recall we did our research into that and came up with because I think John McClane wears his watch that way.
It's like a military thing, isn't it?
It's a military thing, so the sun doesn't reflect off the face of the watch and give away your position if you're like a sniper or if you're just like hiding in the foliage.
And also, if I remember, it's like really easy to then look at it while you're holding a gun.
Yeah. Oh, that's if you're sitting there waiting, waiting for someone to come up and you're holding your machine gun. You've already got the watch faces right there beside you. So it's another thing. It's like, doesn't attract any light. doesn't, and it's right. It's there at all given times. So, but who knows? You never know this guy. Like he's a husky dude, but he could be a disillusioned Nam guy.
I could see that. Yeah, because a lot of people from Nam did then end up joining things like this because they had nothing else going on. Essentially, like nobody was looking after them, helping them.
Maybe now I'm slowly. Maybe it's the friggin' Tough Guys song that's been giving me this bad vibe about these guys the whole time. Angelo trying to paint them as these badasses, and now we got this probably some nerve jangled, shattered Nam vet who still wears his watch that way because he can't get his head out of that kind of state of like, no, Charlie's everywhere.
We should be supporting these guys.
Yeah, and also a nice hippie guy. The guy just wanted my Pepsi to be a little the cool down. And I'm going to say these biker guys are the salt of the earth.
Abso-fucking-ly. And you know what? We're meant to only drink when it's topless guys, but let's have 2 drinks for the topless girls. Come on, let's do it.
One for each tit.
Well, that'd be 4 then. 4 drinks for each tit. 1 drink for each tit, which would be 4.
Yeah.
There's another thing I think we should maybe drink to.
Mm-hmm.
There's a mooner.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I think drink for the mooner. Let's all get pissed with the crew. Plus there's another shirtless guy behind the mooner. That's 2 more. Fucking hell.
Well, it's fine. I think it has the kind of vibe of like Kurt Van Houten or like a Rapu, like, come on. Everybody get naked. Come on, don't be nuts. Oh, why not? This party's just getting started.
Woo! Although, you say that. But there is a guy in the background with a very distasteful shirt. Did you see that?
Oh, no, I don't think I saw this. Where is this?
Oh, right. See, because I've been scouring all of these guys for anything a bit, like, Nazi. But this was unexpected. So there's a guy in the background with a shirt that says, 2 bombs weren't enough.
Whoa. Oh.
Which...
What was there?
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, my God.
That's the thing, right? Like, not only is that a terrible thing to say, but Yoshito... I know the actor isn't, but the character of Yoshito is there.
Yeah.
He's Japanese.
And also, to be fair, again, maybe the guy, too, is like, he just knows an Asian guy is going to be there. And he's like, it's all the same country, right?
That's what they think, yeah. 2 bombs weren't enough.
Where is this guy? Where is this asshole?
Let me get you the exact second. Let me find you that. Second 42. You can see a guy behind the windscreen of that bike. You see him again a little bit later to clarify what it says, but it says 2 bombs weren't enough.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. I'll see that clear as day. Yeah.
Fucking hell. You don't say it. Jesus Christ. He is the kind of guy who blatantly in his house will have a Confederate flag.
Yeah. All right, now turn it back on the bucket. Everything I said about them at the start is 100% correct. No, who's right beside him? That's freaking Yoshito. Yeah. Yoshito's right there.
It's insane. It's insane. I can't wrap my head around. I think it is purely the guy, not the character, the guy flexing. Like, I'm going to fucking wear that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. It's got to be kind of like, you got a problem, boy. Like that kind of attitude. Yeah.
Which is ballsy. I don't approve of it, but it's ballsy. And also, I suppose it does kind of tie into the thought at the time, because it's quite a modern, thought amongst Americans, at least, that, like, maybe that wasn't a good thing. Whereas, over here, we've thought that for a long time. But in America, I think it's quite a relatively new in the grand scheme of things thought to be like, maybe we shouldn't have bombed them.
I've seen people in the aftermath of Oppenheimer where I've seen professional film critics, mind you, saying like, oh, he's an unlikable character, not for his actions, but for the fact that he was a bit whiny after he did it. And he was just like, oh, come on, just, what was his problem?
Wait, so they're on the side of the fucking president who calls him like a fucking bitch, basically.
Yeah. They're just like, well, it had to be done, didn't it? It's like, well, there's parts in the movie where they're showing you that it didn't have to be done.
Yeah.
That they're going, everyone, the people who made the bomb themselves are going like, if we're getting the vibe that we might be able to, like, Japan might be ready to surrender. We don't need to do anything.
No.
And I said, no, you go, but not just the one, 2. And then according to this guy, 2 wasn't enough, I guess. But it's not really. It's the fact though that, like, friggin', Yoshido right there, probably just like, and then that guy's wearing. Oh, is he got a thing on a koozie as well, or is that just like a little?
There's a good few koozies going around, so maybe.
Yeah, and he also doesn't look. He has the same can as the hippie guy. Maybe it's not Pepsi. Maybe it's something to do. Mm-hmm. Although then the guy next to him with the red bandana does look like. He looks a bit to me like acclaimed Native American actor Wes Studi.
Oh.
The guy played Sagat in the Street Fighter movie.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Tons of, doesn't so much look like Sagat. It actually has a kind of Ryu thing going on right there at the moment.
I mean, it's not a great movie, but he's good casting, I think.
Oh, yeah. I'll defend a lot of that Street Fighter movie to the day I die. But it would just be weird because he does look like, he looks a lot like Wes Studi. To me, believe that it's not Wes Studi, but it could be a Native American guy. And for him to be hanging out with, like, a guy with the... But then, I guess it could be like, I'm not racist towards Native Americans. I'm just racist towards the Japanese. So.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. You just got my mind. It's like, well, if you're racist at all, you probably should stick away. It's like, no, it's specifically Japanese. Like, it's not just like, I'm inclusive of all other races and sexes and creeds, but the Japanese in particular, no.
Jesus Christ. Unfortunately, that was an attitude in America.
Plus, this guy doesn't look all this must be a generational thing as well, because he doesn't look all that old. So This would have been 40 plus years after the bomb. So it must be that he's getting it from his parents or whatever. But
well, I think it was an influence on people. That's why a lot of in England, again, rightly or wrongly, when punk became a thing, one of the iconic things in like 76, 77 was wearing Nazi stuff. And the idea was basically just to piss off your parents.
Yeah.
And it was repurposing, because Vivienne Westwood had an idea of like taking this imagery and repurposing it into something else. But obviously, casual people on the street don't always get that. They don't understand art, which that's not as a criticism. It's like, well, this is your one encounter with this piece of work. You're going to be like, you're wearing a swastika.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the same kind of thing. Maybe this guy's like, well, I'm going to be like a rebel,
Yeah. It feels like they were told, oh, yeah, they're filming a movie and they're going to give us a bunch of free beer. And then they're like, what kind of movie is it? And they're like, oh, I don't know, some friggin', I don't know, it looked like it was Japanese or something. Like, what?
Exactly, yeah. He put that on. And you know what? In the commentary track, they do not, I might have said this before, they don't really address how they got along. Because there is a direct question from the guy talking to them, like, oh, how did the actors get along with the bikers? And he kind of deflects the question into something else. And that makes me a bit worried.
Yeah.
Like, was this not good? Because Yoshito seems to be happy. Like, genuinely, I don't mean as a character. I mean, like, the actor seems to be like, yeah, I'm just drinking. And but it might be telling that he's the only fucking one there. Yeah,
and also, probably, hands are lethal weapons. He's just like, okay, well, if it happens, and it's like, you're drastically outnumbered. It's like, it doesn't matter if I'm outnumbered. I also did notice, too, because I remember trying to figure out that... there's this, you can see these guys doing wheelies on the way past a couple of signs.
A wheelie on a fucking Harley?
Yeah.
That's insane. I didn't think you could do that.
And there's one guy that does a pretty impressive one. As someone goes by, it looks like, I thought it might have been like a dead cow hanging out of his truck, but no, it's part of a motor part of a motorboat. But yeah, that guy does a very impressive wheelie, and then the guy behind him does kind of a bit of a lame one.
He's the apprentice.
And then there's a sign for Enterprise. I was like, oh, is Enterprise a place in Orlando? I was like, no, apparently Enterprise is now like a sort of it's an economic sort of thing that Orlando in particular has thought up about like
What?
the government working with local businesses in order to like create as much profit as possible. And apparently, it was only founded in '96, so I don't think this is a reference to that. But apparently, if you type in Enterprise Florida, it will come up with this whole big thing about like so it was a sort of like new economic thing they were trying within the city and stuff. And then I got distracted by it and seeing like the First Baptist Church sign right behind it. Was a bit like,
I tried to look that up, but I couldn't find much.
yeah, but it's just these guys going there. It was near the church. Or maybe the First Baptist Church were the only guys who would have the biker guys on their lawn or something.
I did like immediately after that you see bikers like cheering and stuff. And one of them, he looks like Toadfish from Neighbours. Second 48. If you listeners, if you have seen the Australian soap opera Neighbours, that guy, he's Toadfish. But you've got Toadfish here, and immediately after him, one guy completely fucks up and just goes flying to the ground.
Yeah, it feels like that's a risky thing to keep in the movie because it's like, well, these bikers guys might see it, they might not appreciate.
Yeah,
like one of them being seen trying to do a bike trick and falling flat in his ass.
Well, let me tell you as well, they don't directly address this moment, but they talk in the commentary about how, basically as people kept drinking, some accidents happened. People fell over. It's like, so you mean this, then? This is legit. And they just kept it like, get that guy falling down.
Yeah.
And I kind of love that. Like, if you've got it on film, why not use it? Because even if he like broke his leg, it's like, well, he broke his leg for nothing unless you use it.
Yeah. Or maybe he was the guy like, they were all taking the piss out of him, so no, they'll appreciate us putting that in the movie because that's the guy they're currently picking on in the group. So he's like the greenhorn or whatever. But and then the final second, as I believe this is Jeff's crew pulling up, right?
Because if you notice, there's Vader.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely. And is that Barb?
Oh, I believe it is Barb. There she is. Yeah. And we got the really appreciated because all these guys do have they all have they all got their bit of a gut on them. They all look like classic biker guys. And
we've all got a gut on us. Come on.
But in terms of their physique, and then there's this one guy, very svelte. Has a kind of Fred from Scooby-Doo quality about him. It's very, top heavy. Looks like he's got a bit of build. Very slim. Everything's all neatly tucked in, and then a little orange ascot just knitted about his neck there.
I'm into the ascot. That's cool. That's cool.
Yes, he's got a much more tidy. But he strikes me as like if that other guy was an undercover reporter, he's clearly the cop. That's like trying to yes, I am also from the backwoods where you folks no doubt are also from. That's correct. And you're seeing like the sweat is causing the beard glue to unstick and it's just hanging off his face by the end of the day.
He needs a better glue. Don't be using no goddamn cheap shite.
Yeah. There's a guy there behind him though has a t-shirt that also says love. So you never have to. You never know. We said it got 2 bombs. Wasn't enough. He could be talking about Jägerbombs. You don't know, John. He might be a party guy.
You know what? One last thing I have a note on. We haven't talked about the lyrics.
Oh yeah.
Because it's still Tough Guys, but the lyrics are a little bit different. I've written down. It's quite a long bit, but it's my favorite bit. Really, it says trouble in the night, looking for a fight. Don't be a fool, trying to be so cool. You're messing with their lives. They'll cut you down to size. Best know what you're doing when you're messing with the tough guys. Life is filled with lies and many highs. Everyone strives to be a tough guy. Apparently. It is no surprise. Many others die. There's no disguise. I'm a tough guy.
Well, the many others die. But I remember reading that and been like, well, what's this about?
Yeah, it's...
And on the road to being a tough guy, like, oh yeah, you'll get yourself killed going down this road.
But if you're a real tough guy, you won't. Only the fake tough guys will die. You gotta be real. You gotta be tough. You don't want to try and be cool. You gotta be cool.
It's not Angelo's best work. I'll give him that. But I do. Maybe he might have been there. Although again, a name like Angelo Giannotti, would he show up near these guys? Too? Like that doesn't sound like an American name to me. But
I'd be, I don't want to paint people with the same brush yet again, but yeah, I'd be suspicious. I'd be worried if I was Angelo. I'd be like, maybe that's why he's not in the scene.
There's a guy there still going on about freaking Hiroshima. Like, Mussolini might still be popping around these guys' heads as well. So
Jesus Christ. Yeah, you got to worry about that. Fuck it.
Well, it's, yeah. Although, my other question is going to be, like, do you think Angelo maybe he himself went undercover and was like, the lyrics are directly inspired by these guys?
Oh, maybe he's calling them out. You're phony tough guys.
Phonies.
Yeah, I'm the real fucking deal. You're fakes.
Well, I don't know if I call Angelo the real deal.
Angelo's a tough guy. What are you saying?
It's literally nearly. Actually, no, only really Mark and John and Dragon Sound are like the guys we see doing some legit stuff.
Hey, you want to throw hands with Angelo? Let's fucking do it. Let's do it on Twitch.
Yeah.
So we will break the connection once more. As usual, speak to us on Facebook at the Bat Minute Listeners Cave just then. And the Miami Minutes Taekwondo Orphanage. Twitter at Miami Minutes. Instagram and Threads, Miami Minutes. And why don't you find our network, Sleepy Charlie Media, on Patreon? Because by the time you hear this, we've started putting, very late in the season, any cut content from our Miami Minutes episodes, they are going on there as well. So you're getting Bat Minute bonuses, you're getting Bat Minute cut content, you're getting Miami Minutes cut content. You will eventually get some more Hedvig shit when I can be bothered. You're getting lots of stuff for next to nothing. For $1, you get all the cut content from every show. For $2, you also get bonus episodes. That's nothing. That's cheaper than coffee. Do it. And if you don't do it, you're a piece of shit. And you should have been nuked. What? 2 bombs weren't enough?
I was going to say, I was like, shall I say it? Or it'll be a bad taste.
2 bombs weren't enough for you. So come over to the Patreon, do all that.
Maybe that should be the next tier on Patreon. $2 weren't enough.
$2 weren't fucking enough. Yeah, give us every dollar you've fucking got. And join us again in 1 week's time for more Miami Minutes. Tits!
Listen to me!